Hello and welcome everyone to ADV Learning. Today in this video we are going to build this simple rock, paper and scissors game in C programming language. Let me give you a quick demo of this game. So here we have four options to choose: scissor, paper, rock, or to quit the game. If I choose the option 1, that is scissor, then here I have lose because the computer has chosen rock and I have chosen scissor. If I choose the paper, I won the game because I have chosen the paper and computer has chosen rock, and the paper always take a win over the rock. Now if I choose the option that is not in between this 1 and 4, then it will show invalid option with a beep sound. Now if I want to quit the game, then I can simply press 4 to quit the game. Now let's start to build this game. Here I have included the 4 header files here and the main function. First of all, let me print the welcome statement in the console. So I can simply write printf and give some decoration here and write welcome to rock, paper and scissors game. And let me give some horizontal tabs here. Let me give it 4 horizontal tabs, and I have missed a semicolon here. Let me give it, and let me print the message in a new line saying please select the option. And let me print the 4 options for the user. The first one will be for scissor, the second one will be for the paper, and the third one will be for the rock. And to quit the game, the fourth option will be for quitting the game. Now let me go ahead and run this. And you can see we have got the welcome statement here and the options also. Now let me define one integer variable that will take the value of the user choice and name it as user choice. And let me scan this out. So this will get the options from the user. Let me check it by printing this. Let me run this. So I have gotten error here because this is not percentage. We have to write this and sign. So now let me run this. So if I choose the option 1, then it is printing option, right? So and what I can do is let me give it a new line here. And now so this is for the option that is chosen by the user. Now for the option that is chosen by the computer, let me define another variable named comp choice, and the computer choice will be the random number. So we have to generate the random number between 1 and 3. So 1 will represent the scissor, 2 will represent the paper, and 3 will represent the rock. So to generate the random number, we can use the ran function, that is ran. This function will generate the random number. Let me show you by printing this first. Print printf, not print. Now let me run this. Okay, let me choose anyone. Yes, you can see the random number is generated as 41 here. Now we have to generate a random number in between the range of 1 and 3. So let me store the random number in this comp choice, and that will be rand, and we are going to divide or modulus it with 3, the maximum number, that is 3, and we are going to add it 1. So this will generate the random number in between the 1 and 3. So let me show you. So let me use for loop. Let me generate 10 random numbers here. Now if I run this, you can see it is generated random number, all that is all 3, right? So what we have to do is we have to set out some random seeds here to generate the different random numbers. Okay, so to do that we have to simply use stran function. So stran, and let me use the current time as the seed. This should be inside this loop, right? Yeah, so let me run this, and yeah, yes, you can see here we have gotten the different random numbers that is in between 3 to 1, right? So this function here stran will set the random seeds for the random number. If we don't use this function, then it will always generate the same sequence of the random number. So this stran function will takes the current time as the seed to generate the random number, and will generate the random numbers each time the different sequences. Okay, now so I didn't need this, so let me remove this. I simply need this one. Okay, so this will generate the random number and store in the variable this context. Okay, so now so what we have to do is now we have to check the options that is chosen by the user and the chosen by the computer. Now so for that let me define one function here. So it will be void check options, and it will take the two parameters. One is the choice that is made by the user, and another is the choice that is made by the computer. Now so let me comment out the this one will represent seizure, 2 will represent the paper, and 3 will represent the rock. Okay, now if user is equals to computer, that is if the user and the computer both choose the same options, then what we can simply print is it's a tie, right? Because if the computer and the user choose the same option, then the game will be tie. Else if user chooses the option 1, that is the seizure, and if the computer choose the option 2, that is paper, then in this case the winner here is user, right? So simply write u1, and in this case we have to also update the score of the user, right? So what we can do is we can define two global variables. Let me say int user score, and initialize to 0, and count score for the score of the computer and initialize it to the 0. Now here, so if the user have 1, then we have to update the score of the user. So you can simply do is user score plus plus. This will increment the score of the user by 1. Else the winner here will be computer. If the else part, one option left is that is rock, and if the user chooses the seizure and computer chooses the rock, then the winner here will be the computer. So you can simply print f you lose, right? And in this case we have to update the score of the computer. So comp score plus plus. Okay, so this is for the user chooses option 1. Now if user chooses the option 2, that is option 2 is paper, right? So if computer chooses option 1, that is seizure, then the winner here will be computer, right? So we can simply do this. We can copy this u1 and this one. Else you can and simply choose this. Let me correct the spelling of the loose. Let me not lost, let me make it loose. Now the last option here is if the user chooses the option 3, that is the rock, and if computer chooses the option 1, that is seizure, then the winner here is user, right? So we can copy this line here and paste it down here. Else, that is if the computer chooses the option 2, that is paper, then the winner will be computer. So let me print this message, you lose. Okay, so that's the functions. And if okay, now let me not do this one right now. Let me first check this out. Okay, first let me call this function, that is check option. Its name is check options. So check options, and the first argument is user choice, and the second argument is comp choice. Now if I run this, okay, so let me choose seizure. Okay, so it is showing it's a tie. Now let me do one thing is, okay, so let me remove this here and put it in the top of this, and let me cut this out and use the while loop. So while user choice is not equals to 4, that is until user doesn't press the quit option, we have to continue this game, or we have to play this game again and again. So let me paste this code here. Now if I run this, okay, now if I choose the seizure, it is showing it's tie. If I choose paper, again it's showing it's tie. So if I choose the rock, again it is showing it's a tie. Okay, now it is showing it's you lose, right? So if I choose you won, yeah, now I think it is working. So now what we can do here is we can make some decoration, or we can try to make these a little bit attractive. So what we can do is, let me print here, print some lines here. So let me make the box and print this inside the box. Okay, sorry, yeah, inside this. Okay, let me give one space here, because okay, this will make the box, and let me try to make it in the center, and let me print it in a new line. Sorry, this should be inside this. Okay, now let me do it for these also. So let me print this, and this should be the new line. Let me copy this here and paste it down here. Now this will show this U1 in the inside the box. Okay, so, yeah, again, and also in this case, let me show what how computer have chosen, okay, and what the user have chosen. So what we can do here is print app. So let me say what the user have chosen. Okay, so in this case the user have chosen the option 1, that is of seizure. And computer has chosen the option 2, that is the paper. Okay. Now let me do it again for this one. So let me copy this, and yeah, copy these lines. And in this case, else the option of the user is same Caesar, but in this case the computer has chosen the rock. So that is the case. Now let me go to this one. So in this case the user have one, so what we can do is, let me simply copy this, so it will be easy. So Control C that, and in case of U1, let me paste this, right? So U1, and in this case the user have chosen option 2, that is of paper. So the user has chosen the paper and the computer has chosen the rock. Okay, yeah, that is it. And for this, you lose one. Let me choose this one and paste this in. And in this case the user has chosen the paper, and the user has chosen the paper, so that's the paper. And in this case, okay, so I have made the mistake here, it's not rock here. So option 1 is Caesar, right? So Caesar is the Caesar here. Yeah, right, yeah, this is it. And okay, so let me make this for you lose first. So you lose, in this case the user has chosen the rock, and the computer has chosen here the one. So in the else part the computer will choose the option 2. So the option 2 is for paper, right? And for UV, let me copy this. So Control C and Control V. So the user has chosen the rock here, and the computer has chosen Caesar, the option 1. So that's it. Let me run this out and see if it's working or not. So if I choose the Caesar, yeah, I have won because I have chosen a Caesar and the computer has chosen a paper. If I again choose a Caesar, then it's a tie. If I choose the rock now, I have again won because the computer has chosen the Caesar. And if I choose the paper, sorry, okay, so in this case there is some error. So I have chosen the option paper and the computer has chosen the Caesar. In this case the computer should have won. Okay, so let me check this out. So when the user choose the option 2, right? So when the user choose the option 2 and the computer has chosen the Caesar, then so what we can do is, you can simply write here you lose, and you can simply write here you won. I think, let me again cross check it. So if the user chooses the option 1, that is Caesar, and the computer chooses the paper, then you won because the user have won, right? And otherwise the user will lose because the computer will choose the rock. In this case, if the user chooses the option 2, that is paper, and the user chooses Caesar, then the you lose statement is right here. And in this case, if the computer choose the rock and I've chosen, the user have chosen the paper, then I should have been, this is correct. And if I if the user choose the rock, the option 3, and the computer chooses Caesar, then the user should win, right? And right, okay, so this is correct. Let me run this again. If I choose the Caesar, then I have won because the computer has chosen the paper. If I choose the paper, the computer has chosen the Caesar, and I lose here. So if I choose the rock, the computer has chosen the paper and I lose. Okay, so this is working fine now. So what I can do is, now what if the user choose the option 4 to quit the game? Okay, so what we can do is, here, else if user is equals to 4. So what we can do is we can print the scores. Okay, so print f. Let me copy this out. So Control C, Control V, and print f. So let me check the options here. Okay, so if the user, let me check the variable is a USR score. Okay, so if user score is greater than computer score, the final one, so in this case the user will win. Else we can, okay, no, else if user score is less than computer score, then we can print you lose, and then we can print the final score. So printf and here we can print the final score. So u, that is for user, %d, that is of user score, and for the computer, so let me use space here, %d comp score. Okay, so this is not used, it's user, and I missed the semicolon here. Let me copy this and print this here. Here you lose, so we forgot to update this one, so it's not. Now run this. Okay, so if I choose the paper, it's a tie. If I choose the seizure, it's again a tie. If I again choose the seizure, I lose. So if I quit the game, yeah, it's showing you lose, a final score you 0 and computer 1, because the computer have won one time. Okay, so again let me play it again one more time. So if I choose the seizure, it's a tie. If I choose the rock, I have won. If again choose the rock, it's a tie. If I choose the option 1, it's a tie. If I again choose option 1, then I lose. Now if I quit, so the final score is 1 and 1. Okay, so I think I have missed something here. You lose, and else I have to print. It's a tie here, right? So it's a tie. Okay, so in this now, so what if the okay, so let me again add some more functionality. Let me play the window sound if the user chooses to quit the game. So if I run this now, if I quit, okay, so we have a sound, it's showing it's a tie. So this is misspaced. Let me give one more spaces here and here. I run this and quit this. Now it's aligned. Okay, now What if the user chooses the option that is not in these options? Okay, that is choose the option beyond these options, that is beyond 4, that it is 5, 6, 7, 9, or any other number. What we can print is else. We can simply print f in the new line, invalid option. And what we can do is we can make a beep sound. So the first argument will be the frequency of the sound, and the second argument will be the time in millisecond. So if I run this, and if I choose the option 8, it is showing invalid option, right? If I again choose the option 7, it is showing invalid option. If I choose the Caesar, it's showing it's a tie. If I quit this game, so again it's a tie, the score is 0, 0. Okay, so that's it. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe.